Well, bear with us just a moment. We're having some technical difficulties. The race has just got underway at Daytona. We will be back in just a moment to bring in the live action here on Faster Horses Media. All right, we're underway already. Lap 8 here at Daytona in our 280 Racing League charity race. Alex Carver leads the way in the number 79 just now. Apologies for the technical difficulties we're having in the background. Hopefully we got those resolved and fixed for the day. Leading strong on the outside. So far is Carver, followed by Devin Main, Spencer Smith, David Hall, fifth in line. Keaton Swain. Screaming by down the back stretch. Two distinct packs starting to form in the field. Inside line clawing their way back, trying to gain momentum. Three cars probably isn't going to cut it. We'll see what happens. Looks like Odell, King, and several others kind of fading in the back. Couple drop down to the low line. We'll see if they can get a shot at the front. Inside line starting to claw their way back up to P4 now for the number 14 of Swain, hoping to gain ground as the top line starts to break up just a little bit. For those of you just joining, this stream is for hurricane relief for veterans, service members, and their families affected by the hurricanes of the past month and the untold devastation that has occurred throughout Florida and many of the southern states, as well as Appalachia. If you're inclined to donate, we'll be displaying a graphic several times throughout the stream, but we also have a donation link to the GoFundMe down in the description of the live stream. If you'd like to check that out, any donations would be appreciated. You awesome people, we're already over halfway to the goal, which is absolutely spectacular. Cannot thank you enough out there for making that happen. Neck and neck now for the lead packs. It's side by side, Carver and Swain for the lead. Number 14 Toyota Swain to the inside. He's neck and neck. Didn't quite lead that lap, but might have a shot at this one as the inside line is formed up pretty tight and gaining ground. Little bit of separation. Swain to the bottom, Carver to the outside. It's going to be Maines and O'Brien behind them. Little bit of a shuffle on the high line. Inside lane losing momentum as the 5 of Maines gets right on the bumper of Carver and pushes Carver out to the lead once again. High line dominant so far. We'll see if the inside lane can get it together. They keep losing momentum down there as the back couple cars get split off. Couple of these drivers up, way up from qualifying. Sean O'Brien in that number 21 machine there on the inside lane. He's up 11 spots, make that 13 spots where he rides right now from the beginning of the race. Lap 14 already up 13 spots. Excellent progress from the 21 car so far. Oh, almost an accident there on the inside, getting a little too much help back there from the 31. Had to check up, but everyone stays clean for now. Taking a ride on board now with Maines behind Carver on that outside lane. Timing that draft just right, getting the perfect push down the back straightaway. That's really benefiting this outside lane right now. Maines with another great push right after the start-finish line. We're on lap 16 now, 155. That's going to be 388 miles here at Daytona International Speedway. Gonna have plenty of action here to bring you from these drivers. All these drivers pay $10 admission for this race, and all of those proceeds will go towards our collections for hurricane relief. Appreciate these drivers for coming out and taking time out of their Saturday to put on a show for us here. Swain pulling even on the inside. Carver is going to get it back on the outside for now with a great push from Maines. Side drafting 2-3 rows deep on that front stretch, trying to pull each other backwards and gain any bit of momentum that they can. Big thank you for our organizers of this event, Randall Peasley and also Zach Miller. Zach Miller, the organizer for the 280 League. Randall Peasley, the pretty much the organizer for this charity event. We'll have a bit of a chat with both of those gentlemen at the next caution period that we have. Side by side again, advantage to the outside lane off the corner. The inside gets alongside in the corners. Better speed through the corners, but that outside lane definitely picks up speed down the front backstretch. Both lines tidy. Inside looking a little bit better right now. Needs some separation. We might see if you've seen already one incident of pushing the pusher, as it were. You're locked on the bumper of the car in front of you and you get hit from behind. It has a tendency to pick up the back of the car and lighten the entire car and make it very hard to keep the car underneath you and potentially wreck the whole field. Great help coming from that 5 car. Absolutely solid pushes coming for your leader, 79 of Alex Carver. These drivers are definitely taking notes. Who's a good pusher? Who's a good leader? Who keeps their lane nice and tidy and makes it easy to line up that bump? All these factors play a part late race when you're starting to form a run, decide who you want to charge to the front with. Taking a quick look at the features of this race, 155 laps, as we mentioned, 388 miles. There will be 2 fast repairs for damage repair. That allows the drivers to instantly fix the cars on pit lane. They will have 2 of those for this event. And we will have 3 attempts at a green-white checkered finish. If we get a caution before the checkered flag, we will go to a green-white checkered finish. And we'll have 3 attempts at those before the race is official. On the line today, winner's trophy pictured here. 3 American Legion memberships for the top 3 finishers who are otherwise qualified, aka service members. And 2 random draw prizes provided by Zach Miller. He should give us a few more details about those as we're able to talk to him later. But that's a brief rundown of our race this afternoon. Still 12 cars. Under a blanket in this lead pack, all scrambling, trying to find their spot in line, trying to pick up positions where they can. Everyone probably starting to take a look at their fuel mileage, where they're going to have to pit, when they're going to have to pit. Expect pit stops to begin within the next 10 laps or so. Food for thought, these leaders are going to be using more fuel than everybody else. Every car behind them is able to save a little bit of fuel in the draft. They're not running 100% all the way around the track. Besides maybe that 5 car. Oh, we see trouble behind. One car going wide, losing spots. Dude, that might have been the 21. Sean O'Brien loses some spots, gets shuffled out of the pack, as well as the 42. Fortunately, no wrecks. That broke up the momentum of the lines. We see a bit of a power dynamic shift. Lots of drivers piling into that inside lane now. Dead even for the lead as I scream down the backstretch. The 15, the 14 on the inside lane. 79 and 5 still lead on the outside. Momentum favoring that outside lane. Numbers favoring the outside lane presently. Nice and tidy, lined up very well on the outside, getting a great push. Top two cars, 14, 15, 31 as well on the inside. Very tight together, hopefully not too tight. We don't want any wrecks this early in the race. Bit of a stack up there. 15's getting alongside the 5's. Probably going to fall back a little bit as we get on the straightaway. Separated from his drafting partner behind just a little bit as the 79 of Carver drops down for that side draft. It's going to be the 15 that leads lap 25, though. Momentum swing back to the outside Carver by 1 car length for now. Bit of a mix-up in your standings board. Might be some settings off in iRacing. The 22 car is actually the 15 car. That 31 car behind is actually the 15 car on the standings board. Bit of a scramble for the outside lane there. That's going to give momentum to the inside. Carver getting down there tight to that inside lane, trying to side draft and pull that 15 car back. Back to the outside, in front of Maines. Maines gives him a shove down the front stretch. Still going to be the 15 of Carver out front. Sorry, the 15 of King out front. Massive shot for the 30 to the 14 from the 31 car on that inside lane. Looks to me like the added inside lane is starting to get comfortable. We're seeing tighter drafting between the top 3. That's been able to keep them out front of that tandem up top between the 79 and the 5 that's been so good early on. These drivers are going to have to start thinking about getting down to the bottom of the racetrack to be able to take fuel on pit road. Expect the teammates in the 14 and 15 on the bottom line to come together. We'll see who else decides to come with them. You don't want to go by yourself. You need that drafting help coming out of the pits if you want to maintain pace with the rest of the field. Majority of these drivers in a chat room together, probably strategizing, trying to make plans for when they'll come to pit lane. Starting a single file out. I expect we'll see it soon. Got top line cars dropping to the bottom. That 79's, oh, almost a wreck. 14 sideways. Massive wreck throughout the field. The 14 got sideways. Just a bit of a bad push, and the first caution of the day is out. And also out are their pit strategy plans. Because now we've got a caution. Go back, take a look at the replay, see if we can figure out what happened here. See the 14 out of line. Let's go back just a little bit. Looked like maybe a bad push from the 31 that just got him shuffled out and could not get back in. Shuffled out, another push to that right rear. Can't push there and just could not gather it back up. Heavy damage to the 5 on the outside. Devin Maines was just nowhere to go after that. Heavy damage to the front of the 5. Heavy damage to the rear of the 14. Drivers lined up, getting ready to make our first round of pit stops. Expect several of these drivers to use one of those 2 available fast repairs. Fix up some of that damage, keep them competitive. Also given a chance for the back of the field, positions 11 through 18 to be able to catch up with the main pack. The 15 of King leads the pack down pit lane. Down for tires and fuel, maybe just tires for that 82. Odell beats several drivers off pit lane. Possibly opting for just fuel in that number 82. Drivers are going to get caught back up with the pace car. Let's go ahead and bring Mr. Randall Peasley in and have a bit of a chat about what got him interested in creating this event. Pease, it's Adam up here in the booth. You got me, sir. Yeah, let me make sure we can hear you on our end. Give me just a moment. Right, try one more time for me.
Radio check.
Now we got you. That's better. All right. Yeah, we just wanted to bring you in here under our first caution to talk a little bit about this event. What inspired you to get this organized, and what your thought process was behind it, and of course some of the things like the trophy and stuff that you got that look quite neat that we've gone over. Take us through your thought process behind this, what inspired you to do it, and your outlook on the day overall.
Yeah, so, you know, our league, 280 Racing League, is a veteran, I would say it's pretty veteran heavy, military heavy and a few of our drivers were affected, and we just kind of all got to talking and saying, hey, what if we did this for charity? So that was our thought process behind setting this up. I mean, setting it up, I mean, it's like setting up anything else brand new to you. Very fun. And then, there were some struggles. As far as the trophies, we got a trophy from B&B 3D print on Etsy that we're going to put a base on.
Yeah, absolutely a great cause, and great cause, of course, and glad to have this opportunity to broadcast this race. But we're gonna get ready to go green, so we'll let you go. And good luck out there for the rest of this race. We'll hopefully talk to you
All right,
afterwards.
thank you. For sure.
All right, pace car is off as we get ready to go green again. 15 of King leads them to the start. Green flag back out. 79 of Carver dips to the inside. King, Carver, and Hall pull out an early lead here, separating from the rest of the pack. Fourteen still out front. Sorry, 15 car still out front. So we're having a little bit setting issue at the moment. We'll hopefully get that resolved. There we go. Get our leaderboard back up and running for you. 6-car breakaway from the field. Let's take a look. We got Devin Maines in that 5-car leading this rear pack. We've got a bit of a fight back here for the rear end of the pack, unfortunately costing this whole group time, as only 3 cars are lined up and pushing. As that lead 6 starts to pull away. This group's got to get in line and get together if they want to make some momentum on that lead pack. 3.3 seconds the gap between 6th and the 7th place car of Devin Maines. Lead pack trying to make time here. After pit stops, Keaton Swain, the number 14 teammate to your leader, Tailback quite a ways through the field. Of course, getting accident damage repair. You see there, visualize the gap. Nearly a full straightaway between the two packs right now. Still strung out in that second pack, refusing to get in line and push. A lot of racing going on back there. Side by side here, trying to make up ground on each other. '20 of Dalton Fredericks pulling to the inside, gonna clear Alan Bloom and Brendan Odell for that 12th spot. Still leading this group, it's going to be Devin Maines in the 5 car, followed by the 38 of Zach Miller. Both the 5 and the 14 car, first and third in line, having used a fast repair to repair their accident damage just a short while ago. A long way to go. These drivers are going to want to take it easy just a little bit, so as not to have to use that second fast repair too early, because we are not even close to halfway yet. See the 23 and the 82 falling back here. Got a little bit too racy and lost the draft from this pack. With as draggy as these next-gen cars, if you're the rear cars in the pack, it's very easy to get separated from the lead pack. Just the way they draft, they don't like to hang on without help from behind. So if you're that last car or two in line, it's you got to be pretty careful not to fall off the tail end of the draft. See it happening a little bit here between the 21 and the 19. Both of them begin to fall back from the front 3. What this group needs now is for all 6 of those drivers to be able to get up together, get close in line, and push for all they're worth to be able to make up ground on that lead pack. Slight bit of ground made up. Gap sits at 3 seconds even. Was 3.2 a short while ago. Car in between the 2 lead packs. That's going to be Ryan Elmore in the 26, going a lap down. It's like Vega pulled out a line there for a brief moment, trying to overtake, using the draft off that lap car. Jumping back up to the lead pack, still 15 car, Crystal King out front. Second place, Alex Carver. Third place, David Hall. Fourth place, Spencer Smith. Aaron Mack in the 31. And Randall Peasley, who we just talked to a minute ago, in danger of losing that lead draft. We'll see what happens here. Getting left behind just a little bit. Very hard to hang on to the rear of the pack as that last car. Seems to be maintaining right now. Just hangs on and gets pulled back up to the lead pack. Everything fine and dandy for Randall Peasley right now. Good job hanging on to that draft. Really don't want to get left behind, because once you slow down, that whole second pack is just going to blow by you as well. They're not going to stop to pick you up, so you're going to have to try to tag on to the back of somebody. This front pack splits in half. We got the 79 going for the lead. 15 slides up the block. This is good news for that second pack. They're making up ground. 2.2 seconds the gap between the lead pack and the second pack, now down from 3. Down to the inside lane, 79 of Carver going to take advantage of King. No help, though. We'll see what the threesome behind the 79 does. Will they pick up the 79 or go on by? They're going to pick Carver up and push Carver out front. $15.56, not going to be able to build momentum with just 2 cars. Going to have to get cycled to the rear end of this line. Course of a lap. 15 of King goes from the lead to 6th position. 1.6 seconds the gap to the second pack now. This is good news for that second pack. Beasley all over the rear bumper of the 79, giving him a huge shove down the back straight. Single file on the bottom of the racetrack. Making the most time possible, spending the least amount of fuel possible. We'll see if this, how long the 79 wants to stay out there. Again, using more fuel as the leader than you would back farther in the pack. Might not be a bad thing for that 15 machine to ride back there a while, recoup some of the lost fuel. Do some of the extra fuel expended, staying out in the lead. .7 the gap back to the second pack. Devin Main still leads that pack, followed by the 38 of Miller and the 14 of Swain. Lead pack starting to extend that gap back out to the second pack. Second pack now 1.9 seconds back. And falling. Desperately in need of those rear 3 cars to close in and hopefully work with them in the draft to get them back up to the lead pack. No change up in the lead pack, keeping it nice and tight in line. laying down blistering fast lap times right now. That's a 46.08 for your leader that time by. Leader of the second pack of Mains ran a 46.45, nearly half a second slower for that second pack, 2.5 seconds back now from this lead group. Easily gets out of line. Gonna shuffle to the back of this pack. Switching things up a little bit. We're going to let the 31 have a shot. Take turns using a little more fuel. First and second car are going to use a little more fuel than the trailing ones. Second car generally full throttle down the back straight. That third car in line usually running 3/4 throttle. Getting so much draft off the lead two cars, you really don't have to run nearly as much throttle, but those lead two have to push pretty hard and use quite a bit more fuel in order to lead the pack. Crank up the volume a little bit and take a ride trackside. Let's get ready to crank it up here at Daytona International Speedway. Big shuffle up for the rear pack here. Breaking in half is that rear pack. Let's take a look back at Devin Mains. Devin Mains, Zach Miller broke away from that second pack. Might have had some kind of incident going on there. See Francisco Vega and Keaton Swain both heading to pit lane. 14 in the 19 car, possibly some damage after an encounter. Let's take a look back. See if we can figure out what happened with this rear pack. Side by side for Swain and Vega. Vega trying to hold on, side drafting into the 14. not going to be able to happen with the front four drivers, or with the four drivers lined up. Oh, and we see Vega turn down into the field. Heavy impact on the right front for the 14 and the 19, both in this race. 14 looks like might have lost the right front tire or bent something in the right front, not able to steer that car off the wall. Both drivers were able to make it to pit lane. Going to take probably the second of their two fast repairs here on lap number 56. Bad news, and they're going to be hoping for a caution soon to be able to get back up with the lead group. Live and back out front, still the 79 of Carver, followed by the 31 of Mack and the 10 of Hall. No change for this front group. Expect that second round of pit stops to come fairly soon. First round of pit stops came in the early 30 lap range last time around, so these drivers are definitely looking at that fuel gauge, seeing what they have left, starting to make plans on when they're going to come and who they're going to come with. Jumping back in the field. That threesome of cars, the 21, the 20, and let's see who's on the tail end of this. The 26 caught the 5 and the 38. Now they've assimilated into the group, and it looks like they're making pretty good time. Caution is out on the racetrack. Does not appear we had any incidents. Go ahead and double check the replay here, see if we had anything happen in the back of the field. Looks pretty clean as everyone gets it slowed down to pace speed. Second caution of the day comes here at lap 62. The 79 still leading the pack over the 31, the 10, the 56. '79 leads him down pit lane here on lap 62. And as they're making pit stops, we're going to go ahead and review the reason we're here. Early morning hours, September 27th, one of the strongest hurricanes to make landfall in the United States tore a path of devastation through the heart of Florida and upwards through Appalachia. While Florida was hardest hit, you'd argue they're the best prepared, but few in eastern Tennessee and the western Carolinas could predict the devastation caused by Hurricane Helene. And tonight, we had Faster Horses Media and the 280 Racing League offer our condolences to those who've lost livelihoods and life to Mother Nature in the past month, and we extend our hands to help them move forward and rebuild. If you join me now in a minute of silence in recognition of those who are in their darkest hour, that would be appreciated. That just a glimpse of what so many people have lost and how they've been impacted throughout Florida and the Appalachians, especially those in western North Carolina. And we definitely send our prayers and our thoughts out to them. And hopefully we can make an impact and help them out tonight. Again, that link to the GoFundMe for the donations is below in the description. And any donations would, of course, be appreciated for service members and their families affected by the recent hurricanes. Pit stops now over here on track through lap number 64, heading to lap 65 of 155 here at Daytona International. Pace car peels off pit lane. The 79 of Alex Carver going to lead him to the green flag. Green is out. Carver to lead. The 10 of Hall bringing up second right now. See what happens for Carver. Might be dangerously out front if the pack gets gathered up behind. Might go evasive around that 79 car rather than push. We'll see how kind they're going to be. Top lane already forming up well. The 15, 31, and 63 on the outside. Make that the 5 on the outside. 31 dives to the inside. Mac to the inside of King. Mac's going to go to the lead. Main's second, going to follow behind. The 79 of Carver runs third. 12 cars deep on the bottom, only 4 on the outside. They're easily going to make ground on that outside lane as they struggle to get formed together. And that 15 car is looking for a way to that bottom lane. Hopefully not going to lose too much track position here. Got a breakout for the lead pack. 4 cars. 31, 5, 79, and 10 all out front and pulling away from 5th place, Peasley, and the rest of the pack behind them. 2 by 2 out back from 7th on back. Odell and King battle for the 7th position right now. Side by side. Teammates going to get linked up on the outside. 14, 15 cars to the high side. '15 comes down briefly to aero block that inside lane. That number 82 dives back up the racetrack in front of the 14. Both of them able to clear that inside lane and settle in line. That's going to be bad news for the 21 and the 19. They're going to have to find a spot in line on the bottom lane if they're going to make any ground on that outside. Not going to happen with 2 cars. 19 fades it and blends into line. Followed by the 21. 42 still holding on to the outside, hoping for an opening. Once again, Racy in the back in the second pack. That's going to cost them time to the leaders. Lead pack pulling away. 1.5 seconds out front now. It's not all bad news. Let's take a look. Out the back of the 15, at the 14, linked up well, followed by the 82. Up north, that 14 to Swain, still a lap down at this point. Racing to be the lucky dog, racing to be the first car a lap down so far. Racing the 42 and the 23 for that lucky dog right now. Should we see another caution fall in the next few laps? Juking and jostling all over the back. 23 is going to fade up out of the way. Good heads-up driving there for Alan Blue in that 23 Toyota. Out front, Aaron Mack has taken the lead. They've lost Randall Peasley off the back of this pack, down to 4 cars on that lead pack. 31 of back, 5 of Mains back in that lead group after having fallen back to the second group before that round of pit stops. Followed by the 79 and the 10. .31 car and U.S. Army Esports machine leads the way. Second place, the 5 car, that SSR number 5 Chevrolet, followed by third place, 79 car of Carver. The number 10 Sim Coaches Chevrolet, David Hall. Still holding an even gap back to the second pack, 1.9 seconds the gap. Back to the 22 of King. Sorry, that'll be the 15 of King. Car of Hall, at risk of losing that draft, is going to be able to catch up in the corner, though. Very hard, once again, for that last car in the draft to hang on. Very large spoilers and a lot of drag on these next-gen cars make them very different from other stock cars, like the old Cup Series cars, the Xfinity cars, and the trucks to draft with. Have to be much more calculated in deciding whether you want to pull out a line, when you want to make a run, how many cars you have in line with you. Your success very dependent on the cars around you. All dropping back again. You see falling back a little bit in the turns, gains on the straightaways once the draft straightens out. We've got a shuffle. We got side by side back here for the 6th spot. Sorry, for the 5th spot. It's going to be Zach Miller leading the second pack for now, but this is costing them massive time. Over the course of one lap, they've dropped another 1.5 seconds to that lead pack, racing side by side. Miller takes his threesome to the front. That's going to be Miller, Spencer Smith, and Randall Peasley, the first 3 cars in this group. Crystal King and Keaton Swain, the 15 and 14, get shuffled to the back of the line. See the lights come on in Daytona as the sun begins to set. '14 and 15 coming back strong on the inside lane. Gets a good side draft for the 15. Not going to be quite enough momentum to clear. This twosome's going to have a hard time clearing the superior numbers on that outside lane. We'll see if they manage. 14 locked onto the bumper of the 15 and trying to push. 15's clear, but not for both of them. Doesn't want to leave the teammate hanging out to dry. The teammate right there, the 14's racing that 42 for the lucky dog spot. Both those cars 1 lap down, trying to be the first of those cars a lap down. They'd receive the lucky dog award and get their lap back. Should we see another caution right now? The 42's gaining that position though. Might have to make some more aggressive moves and possibly side draft that outside lane if they want to move forward. They can peel 1 or 2 of those cars off of that string. They might be able to gain the momentum they need, but not going to happen just yet. We'll see what King does. If King takes advantage of that 42, that 42 better be careful not to leave too big of a gap. It might just see the 15 take that inside. Big checkup there for the 2nd and 3rd cars in line. Back in the lead pack, 7.5 seconds away from that second pack now. Still the 31, the 5, 79, and 10 as they run. Looking back now on the 31 car, cannot even see that second pack until just now. Entering turn 4, you just see that second pack coming off turn 2. Massive, massive gap for these first 4 cars over the rest of the field. You want to keep an eye on that 15th and 17th place car. Both those cars 1 lap down, fighting to be the first car 1 lap down. Sorry, all 3 of those cars, the 14, the 19, the 42, all part of the same pack, all trying to be the first car 1 lap down if we see another caution. Hearing the engine note increase, those RPMs picking up as the 5 makes contact with the rear bumper of the 31 down the backstretch. More RPMs, more fuel. The second pack running nearly a full second slower than the lead pack last time by. 46.6 for the lead 4. 47.37 for the second pack. Full 10 seconds now, the gap. Beasley pulls out a line. He's going to try to get by the 42. Going to get left hanging. Is able to slip back in front of the 15 before losing that spot. No, not able to get back to the inside. 15 to the inside. Going to punch a hole by Peasley. And bring the 14 with him. Big shot to the back of the 42 from the 15 as we see the cautions out. Caution is out. Donnie Spiker goes off track. We'll take a look back and see what happened. Just a bad draft. Mid-pack. Donnie, massive, massive hit after getting turned around to that inside wall. We'll go back and take another look, see if we can find out exactly what happened. Go on board above the track. It looks like the 82 of Odell got pushed below the line. 20 had momentum and filled space. 82 comes back up and just gets tagged by the 20. That's going to send the 82 hard into the outside wall. 20 gets a little bit of a shot in the rear. 20 drifts down out of control back in front of the 13 and sends the 13 flying towards that inside fence. And as we just saw, gets a good piece of that. Gonna have some heavy damage on that 13 for Sim Coach's Ford Mustang after that incident. Good news for the second pack, though, as leaders come in to make their pit stops. Looks like it's going to be Keaton Swain more than likely getting the lucky dog position as we see going flying by the pace car. Going to get that lap back. Randall Peasley going to stay out, interestingly. Probably going to have to stop for fuel. We'll see what happens here. Last pit stop for Peasley was lap 62, so definitely going to be running toward the end of the tank. Same for Sean O'Brien, last pit lap 62. So if they come in for service next time by. Once again, how about Devin Hall up 10 spots so far today, running 4th currently. It's hanging with that lead foursome for that entire previous run. That's Sim Coach's Chevrolet. Aaron Mack in the 31 up 5 spots so far today. Good pickup so far. Hoping to continue that success throughout the rest of the race as we've crossed the halfway mark back on lap 76. Lap 78, rather. Be interesting to see if any of these drivers elect to come in again and top off before we get rolling again. Lights are out on the pace car. We will go green next time by. See Alan Blue peeled off. Gonna take on Fuel and 4 fresh Goodyears. Dalton Fredericks, the 20, the 98 of Anthony Handley, and Donnie Spiker coming in for damage repair, and probably to top off one more time on Fuel. So like the 63 and 21 are going to elect to stay out, going to be on an alternate strategy. Peasley's going to lead them to the green flag. Followed by Sean O'Brien. The outside row 2, inside row 2, Devin Main's outside. David Hall in the 10. Inside of row 3. Going to be the 31, Aaron Mack. Outside's going to be the 15, Crystal King. Looks like we've extended the caution. Pace lights are back on the pace car. Not be going green this time by. See, Fredericks, Handley, and Spike are going to take the pit lane again. Again, one more top off on fuel for the last three cars on the lead lap. That's the 20, the 98, and the 13. Fredericks, Handley, and Spike are all coming in topping off here on lap 87. Gonna get every last ounce squeezed in that fuel cell as possible. Maybe looking to do an alternate strategy in the second half of this race. See, lights are off on top of the pace car once again. We should be going green this time around. As the lights come on here in Daytona, a nice purple sky greets us as night begins to fall. Intensity building as we get ready to go green here at Daytona once again. Pace car is going to pull off. Randall Peasley going to lead him to the green, followed by with the 21 of O'Brien to the outside. Green flag is in the air. Peasley gets the jump with the 5 pushing hard in the back end of the 63. Great launch from O'Brien as well. Stays side by side on the outside. Dead even, side by side, 4 rows deep. It's going to be the Sim Coaches 21 and 10 on the outside, thundering to the front. '15 follows them. 26 of Elmore down to the inside as well. Elmore back on the lead lap after trouble early. Finds himself back up toward the front of this field and in contention once again. Field blends in single file right now. No one wanting to lose that lead draft. See the 5 jump to the outside. 31 to the outside. 38 of Miller to the outside as well. We've got 6 cars jumping to the outside of the racetrack. We'll see if they can overtake this lead pack. It's going to be the 2 Sim Coaches machines on the inside, still maintaining that lead. The 15 squeezes to the outside of the 10. Outside lane with the momentum off of turn 2. The 15 of King to the lead, followed by the 5 of Maines. Peasley going to round out, 31 of Mack going to be third place, followed by Peasley. Peasley's going to drop to the inside behind King. It's a mad scramble for position as we cross the start-finish line to begin lap 93. The 21 and 10 have faded back to the mid-pack. It's going to be the 5 of Devin Maines taking the lead. Still a scramble to the inside. 3 wide on the inside. 14 stuck on the apron, able to barge back on track as we see Pandemonium begin behind. Half the field involved in that one. We'll go back and take a look here. Big trouble as the 14 got trapped down. Alan Blue not letting the 14 come back up on the racetrack. Possibly didn't know the 14 was there. 14, no other option but to slide back up. Gets into Blue. Blue up into the 19. Chaos ensues from there. Bounces off the 14 a second time. Back up into the fence. Collects the 10. Collects the 19. Then back down the track. Collects the 26 again. Peasley in the 63. The 21 of O'Brien. And several more get caught up in the back. We see Peasley get airborne behind. Airborne and end over end. Lands back on the wheels. I believe that might be the big one tonight. Over half the field involved in that wreck. Only 5 laps, green flag, and we're back under caution yet again as we see a couple of the leaders. Maines hits pit road, followed by Fredericks. Then the cars involved in the accident, that's going to be O'Brien, Hall, Handley, Spiker, Miller, Peasley, Vega, and more. Just want to point out we have reached our donation goal of $500. Thank you so much to those who have donated. That is massively appreciated. Cannot thank you enough for your kindness. That will definitely be going to a fantastic cause in aiding veterans and their families affected by the hurricanes as they attempt to rebuild and get life back on track and hopefully resume some kind of normalcy. Lights are off in the pace car as we prepare to go green again. Pace car is off. We're getting ready to go green again here at Daytona. Green flag is out. We're underway again. Swain to the lead, followed by Mack, King, Odell, and Maines. Teammates running nose to tail on the outside. 14 in the lead, 15 second place. The 31 of Mack runs third on the inside. Side by side, 6 rows deep. We've got a race on our hands here in Daytona, folks. Outside line showing a lot of potential speed. This time by, it's still 14 of Swain leading teammate King and the 5 of Maines. Miller in the 38 dives to the inside lane, hoping to make up some ground here. 31's going to pick him up on that inside. No, 31 turns Miller. Miller around. Big wreck on the backstretch. Miller spins off. Smith involved. The 10 of Hall involved again. Bad push there. To the left rear. Up at 38 of Miller. Got him turned around and unfortunately nowhere for many drivers to go. The 42, Thad Weaver involved again as well. As the drivers filter down on pit lane for fuel as well as damage repair. If you'd like on your mobile device, go ahead and use that camera. This is a QR code for the GoFundMe for hurricane relief. Down on the bottom right of your screen. And once again, can be found down in the description below this video. Number 10 complete service as well as the 42 back out on track for them. It's going to be the 14 and 15 out front still, followed by Randall Peasley, Sean O'Brien, Brendan Odell, and Devin Maines. You're just joining us now partway through this race. We're happy to have you here at Faster Horses Media. Once again, we'll give you a quick rundown of the race details. 155 total laps, 2 faster pairs, many of which these drivers have already had to take here. And 3 green-white checkered attempts at the end of the race. Pictured to your right is the winner's trophy that will be awarded for the winning driver. There'll be 3 American Legion memberships given out to the top 3 qualifying drivers. Not race qualifying, the top 3 finishers who are eligible. As well as 2 random draw prizes, kindly provided by Zach Miller, our league organizer. And this event itself, kindly put on and conceptualized by Randall Peasley. He's driving that number 63 car, currently running 2nd place in the race. And once again, down on the bottom right, that's QR code for donating to the GoFundMe. That's the whole reason we're doing this, trying to raise a little bit of money for disaster relief for veterans and their families down in Florida and the Carolinas from the last couple hurricanes that have ravaged the region. And I know a lot of families and their loved ones trying to rebuild after disaster down there. Pace car's off. It's time to take the green flag again. 14 Swain leads him to the green. Open to clear enough for the teammate to slide in line. King's able to slide in line behind the 14. Under the green flag again, we see the 21, I believe. Get into the fence just a little bit. Teammate in the 10 is going to go evasive down to the inside. Catch up to the back of that 5 car. Maine's been a factor all day. One of the best pushers in the field all day. Definitely a favorite to be up front at the end of this race. Peasley hanging on for dear life as the 5 sends him out to the lead of the race. Side by side, 5 rows deep. Peasley to the front. Maine 2nd place, 3rd place, the 10 of Hall. Peasley going to fade to the outside. Maine's ducking to the inside. Going to claim the lead with the 10 and the 21 behind. Peasley gets turned. Under caution yet again. Another massive wreck just behind the lead battle. Beasley turned into the outside fence. Let's go ahead and take a look back at what just happened. Beasley slides up to block, gets a piece of the 14. 15 ends up getting shuffled back. The 20 bounces off. Beasley got turned to the fence, sending the 14 down into the 82. Looks like possibly Zach Miller. No, that's going to be Alan Blue and the 23 that gets a big piece of the side of the 14 hard into the passenger side door. As cars and parts scatter everywhere over the front stretch. Devin Main's going to retain the lead after leaving Peasley hanging out to dry. Peasley, unfortunately, got caught up in a wreck just after trying to make that top side work. Wasn't able to do it. We got the 4 sim coaches drivers running 2nd through 5th at the moment, it looks like. Sorry, 5 sim coaches drivers. 5 ducks into pit lane. 10 of Hall follows behind, followed by Sean O'Brien, Anthony Hendley, Dalton Fredericks, and Crystal King. Several of these drivers going to come in for damage repair as well. The 14 will be among them. You see heavy right rear damage on the 14. 14 potentially used both fast repairs already. We'll see how much damage is going to be able to get repaired. See, that right rear panel does not go back into shape instantly, so I'm going to assume I'm going to have to wait out a little bit of damage repair. This number 14 Toyota is going to be competitive again. And what's this? Maybe a little bit of a flip in the standings. 10 of David Hall gets out front, gets out of the pits, rather, before Devin Mains. Bit of a reversal there. I believe the 13 of Donnie Spiker and let's see, the 42 looks like he's a lap down. Okay, so I believe these first 2 cars are going to take a wave around when we get the 1 to go signal. And that should hand the lead to the number 10 of David Hall. Lights out on the pace car again. We're going to re-rack him and send him again. Here on lap 106, it'll be 107 when they take the green flag. Here at Daytona, numbers thinning out a little bit as many cars in the pit lane trying to take on repairs. Lineup set. Hall's going to lead him to the green flag. Pace car peels off onto pit lane one more time. All to the inside, mains to the outside, through the Geico restart zone. We are under green yet again. Great launch for your 2 leaders. A 10 takes the lead. Mains slides in line on that inside lane. A 15 looking for a hole to get in line behind. Zach Miller and the 98 of Hanley both on the outside trying to keep up momentum. Hanley finds a gap on the inside lanes, able to slide in there. Miller's still looking for a spot. He's in free fall down to the back of the pack. The 10 out front, 5 second place right now. Second line starting to form. 15 jumps out of line. Slicing and dicing through the field is the 15, followed by the 26. Ryan Elmore not on the lead lap, but still up here dicing it up with the leaders. Top 10 cars. Still on the lead lap. 26 Elmore, currently the first car 1 lap down. That being exactly why he's up here duking it out with the leaders, trying to stay the first car 1 lap down to get that lucky dog again. Was on the lead lap just a short time ago before another wreck relegated him 1 lap down. 13 is Spiker on that outside lane, currently holding that. They're side by side for that lucky dog position. Out front's 21 is Sean O'Brien. These sim coaches machines starting to work well together. The 98 pushing hard in the back of the 21, sliding down in front of the 20 of Fredericks. Single file for the first 4 cars, but it's side by side from 5th on back. Devin Mains to the inside, followed by the 26. It's going to be the 13, the 15, the 38. All on the outside, trying to gain momentum. Numbers dwindling as more and more cars fade to the inside. On board now with the 5 of Mains. Trying to make something happen back in the 5th position. He's got 4 sim coaches, machines in front. Gonna need some help to make up any ground. These drivers are gonna have to pit 1 more time before the end of the race. Fuel window somewhere around 35 laps. 15 of Kings still making it work on the high line. You see gaining a little momentum, fading in the corners, but they get that momentum back on the straightaways. '26 at Elmore all over the back of that 5, trying to get a good push to get the 5 back up there to those lead 4 cars. Still mostly single file here. 13, 15, and 38 still on the outside, trying to make up ground from the back of the pack. 5 stuck in a traffic jam, probably wishing he had somewhere to go right about now. Unable to make any moves that moment, trapped by that outside lane, just gonna hold on for now. A lot of these drivers probably gonna be a little more cautious. Like we mentioned earlier, a lot of these drivers don't have any more fast repairs to spare after that rash of cautions. Everyone out there fighting for the trophy. 5 starting to fade back to that outside lane, gains more members. A 31 fades to the outside side lane as well as the 56. .31 a Mac, side drafting like crazy, trying to pull that inside lane backwards. Doing a great job of it so far. More and more cars shuffling to the outside. We got 3 wide. We got a wreck. 98 in the fence. No caution yet. Looks like everybody gets it gathered back up. It's definitely going to split apart. These first several cars, though. Big lick to the outside wall for the 98. Can't be feeling too good after that. Staying in the 15, currently your leader, the 13. 1 lap down. Actually, not 1 lap down. 13 is tail end of the lead lap, being in front of the 15. Probably wishing there was a caution right there to get that lap back. 13 would cycle around to the rear of the field if the caution came out right now. Looking back, it's going to be the 56 of Smith back in 12th place, who would be the recipient of the Lucky Dog free pass should another caution come out. Nose to tail for the first 5 cars in line. That dust up cost the 8th through 11th place cars dearly. Weaver 12 seconds back. Swain 34 seconds back. All these cars 8th through 11th all by themselves. Spiker goes back a lap down as a 15 makes the way to the high side and out to the lead yet again. .21 to the inside, shuffling around again for this lead. 15's gonna get hung out to dry by the pack. Lap car coming up. These drivers are going to have to be aware of that. Yeah, it's going to be the 98 machine who hit the wall pretty hard a couple laps ago. Might have some bent steering and some aerodynamic damage. Gonna try to tag on to the end of this draft. John O'Brien leads in the 21. Holding off a hungry pack of 5 other cars, led by Dalton Fredericks in the 20. Still single file burst through 7th, and 98 able to tag on to the last spot in this draft, but still goes 1 lap down. Eight cars left on the lead lap now. Olin Weaver, a 3-car tandem with a 19, running 10 seconds behind the leader. Praying for a caution that would allow them to get back up front and competitive. Little bit of damage on the 19 car, you see. Might be costing this group a little bit of speed. A little added drag to that Ford. Looks like the 82, Brendan Odell, 63 apiece, leading the 23, Alan Blue, going to be retired for the day. After that lap 102 wreck. Bit of a slip up from the 13. Zach Miller going to take advantage and shuffle the 13 to the outside. Move Zach Miller up to the 3rd spot. Followed through by the 5 and the 15. Every bit of track position is going to be helpful, because all these drivers still have to come down and make one more pit stop before the end of this race. And if it's under green, you're going to want every fraction of a second you can get to potentially improve your standings, or at least retain where you're at on pit lane. Going to be very important for these drivers to hit their marks, get centered in their pit box to not cost those pit crews any extra time. Last pit for these drivers, lap 104. Expect another 10 to 12 laps of racing, somewhere between 134 and 139 for that next round of pit stops. Once again, I'd like to thank everyone who's donated so far tonight to the GoFundMe to support the military members affected by the 2 recent hurricanes in the South. We have reached our $500 goal. We've raised $502 towards our goal, and I very much appreciate everyone who has donated to the cause. That is amazing to see, and hopefully will be a big benefit to those in need. If you're just joining us toward the end of this race, you can find the link down in the description or otherwise. You can find the QR code down on the bottom right of the screen. Once again, that is to support military members affected by the recent hurricanes. Majority of this racing league are active or former military. So definitely a worthy cause to go to. This will not be going to our members. This will be going to those in the affected areas, the Carolinas, Tennessee, and Florida, who have been affected by the hurricanes. Still a 7-car breakaway out front. One of these cars is 1 lap down, however. Let's go ahead and bring Randall Peasley back up in the booth. He has retired his car for the day. But Randall, how you doing?
I'm doing well. Just kind of happened to make a bad judgment call, try and make it 3 wide when I shouldn't have. I ended up pushing the 14 too high. And now just kind of enjoying all the racers out there, just doing this for our battle buddies up there.
Yeah, been a bit of a rough go for quite a few drivers, getting bad pushes here and there, and it's definitely getting a little bit spicy. Or had gotten a little bit spicy in that rash of cautions that we had. Saw fanning out 2-3 wide and just everyone pushing for all they're worth, and especially the last one, we had a huge shuffle and just everyone weaving back and forth, changing lanes like crazy. It's looking pretty tight here for the front. I'm liking that 21 and 20 out front. They seem to be working well together. When they get hooked up, they're actually able to pull away from the other 4 cars back there. But we know Zach's no slouch either, and that 5 has been probably the best pusher out on track all day, so definitely liking the odds there. Is there anyone you've seen out on track or anyone you raced with that you're liking their odds for the end of this race?
So I will say that Zach and Devin for sure have both been great pushers. A little bit further back, obviously, Mac has been huge, and Spencer Smith, as well as the 14 car. He did pretty good, giving me some pushes on the straights and into the turns. All around, it's been awesome racing the whole time. Unfortunate for some that we get taken out, just because of minor mistakes. But you know, that's the joy of super speedways and the joy of the race.
Well, see how that all plays out towards the end here. 20 getting real aggressive with the pushes on O'Brien.
The guys up front, they've been pushing real good the whole time. You know, I see the same livery. Oh.
Same livery across most of these, and I believe sim coaches might have actually paid entry for a few of these drivers, which was really cool to see.
Yeah, they are absolutely great drivers, for sure. It's been fun as heck. Oh,
well, we got drivers
we
peeling
got
off to the
pit.
pit lane. It's going to be Maines, Miller, and King all going to dive down to pit lane. 4 sim coaches, drivers staying out.
Curious to know what their fuel level's at.
That 21's got to be running pretty low. Predicted they come lap 134 would begin the green flag cycle, and so it's been. Jump back here, keep an eye on these 3. They get out nice and tidy together. They're going to have drafting help with each other if they get out reasonably well. We'll see how the top group of 4 drivers here does when they take their pit stops. That 21's got to come pretty soon. Been out front for this entire fuel run, so definitely got to be hurting a little more on fuel than the rest of the cars here.
You know, but he's got his team there, right? So he might be able to lift a little bit and just take a push here or there to try and help him save a teaspoon or 2. But eventually he's going to have to pit.
Yeah, you can save, but you've got 3 drivers that just pit, and they're definitely not saving through this. They're going to be absolutely going as hard as possible for the next 20 laps. So, yeah, they're kind of going to be forcing their hand here. They're going to have to go all out. Otherwise, they're going to lose ground on track, and when they come out of the pits, they might just end up behind that threesome of King, Maines, and Miller. Actually, that's a 5-car draft
if they
at
play
the
it right
moment.
right now, they could easily get a 6. You know, Francisco's on the outside there. We could easily just chill.
Jumping back
and let
here,
the
we
rest
got a
fly.
group of all the cars that have pit so far. So all of these drivers have made their final pit stop, with the exception of Weaver in the 42.
Zach and Devin extra. Devin and Zach are on fresh tires, right? So they're going to be cruising through this.
They are indeed. And how much would you say handling played a factor? How much were those tires a factor toward the end of the fuel runs?
At the end of the fuel run, for sure, I was definitely getting a little loose, me personally, especially if I was trying to pusher or maybe 1 or 2 back. At the front, I didn't necessarily have too many problems. But yeah, as we stay out longer and longer, and these fuel stints stay out longer and longer, it definitely starts to wear on the car. You can't hit that low line just as low as you want to. You know, so. Oh my God.
Definitely playing a little bit of a factor in being able to hold your lane, and that's definitely what these 5 drivers here are doing. Very, very tidy, very tight drafting pack here. Again, these drivers, the ones who have pit. 21 of O'Brien and company still out front, still trying to stretch that fuel run, but they've got to keep that speed up if they're going to avoid getting passed by that rear group. Still even lap times. You got 46.02 last time for O'Brien. Let's see. Jumping back to Devin Maines. Last lap was a 46.2, so actually still a little bit faster for this lead group. Wondering
For sure,
how.
but I mean, you still have all that whole team is still together, right? These are drivers that have raced together for a long period of time. They know what's going on, or at least they're in a team, right? So they're communicating, they're talking to each other, and they are making sure that that 21 stays in place.
21 and 20, the two relevant cars in this pack. Two teammates a lap down behind. That's going to be the 13 and the 98.
Small bit of strategy there.
On board as the 21 gets a massive shove from Fredericks in the 20.
Now that 21 is going to start coming up on
There we go.
back traffic, and then a pit and a bump from his own teammate to send him into
Misses
the grass.
pit lane.
Goodness.
Misses pit lane entirely. O'Brien, your leader. Will we see a black flag for that? Did he hit the commitment cone? I can't tell whether he made it in before he went outside pit lane or not. He's still going to stop and take it, though.
I'm going to take it back to a rewind on my own stuff going on. So let's see here. He does not make the cone. He is out in the grass.
Out in the grass, so expecting a black flag for the 21 from the lead. That's going to end his contention in this race. We'll see how they cycle out. Devin Maines leading this second pack. 20 of Fredericks, 9 seconds out front and falling. Fredericks by himself after that calamity with his teammates. Not going to have any drafting help.
He's all alone out there. And then what do we got? 5 cars there? 6 cars? I mean, they're hungry. They're coming now. They know that this race is now open to anyone else to win it.
Any of the cars pictured here. Devin Maines, Zach Miller, Crystal King, David Hall, all in contention. The race will be decided between these 5 drivers. Look at the gap. There's Fredericks all by himself. That's got to be just a gut-wrenching feeling, having no help with a pack of 6 cars bearing down on you.
You know, I've been the driver in the front all alone after a wreck in Draft Masters or a wreck anywhere else, and just seeing that behind you. But the guys behind him, they're just chomping at the bit. They're ready, right? They see him. They know that they're going to be able to get the run along the outside here. And then he's just going to have to tuck in. So no matter what, he's not going to finish first in this pack right now, unless there's something else that happens.
He's doing the smart thing. He took that inside line. For anyone with a keen eye, took that inside line, forced the pack to kind of dismantle for a brief moment and slow their progress to go around him rather than letting them just go by on the inside and keep up that speed. We'll see if he's able to tack onto the back of this train or not. He's just within draft range still, but might not have enough momentum to stay there. We'll keep an eye on that gap. 0.8 closing, 0.8 tenths of a second, down to 7 tenths of a second. He's got the momentum. He's still gonna be a factor in this race. He's caught that pack. So yeah, Dalton Fredericks not out of it yet. And guess what? He's still got help up here in the 10 car too.
Yeah, he's definitely still got some teammates behind the 38 car for Zach there, but you know, Devin's hungry. From a driver perspective, you know, I've got adrenaline pumping through me right now. I'm pumped up. I'm ready to go. We've got this race. But at that same point, You know, with having a three-man behind you, you never know. They might be able to put something together and push to the front.
Yeah, we'll have to see how this goes. We got two pairs of teammates behind Miller and Maines. They're going to have to kind of act as teammates right now if they want to stay out front. That 14 not a factor to win this race, but still available to help the 15 of King.
You can't discount that draft, right? The draft helps, and the push does too, right? Even if you're a lap down, you're still in the race, right? You're just in your own race.
Minus one car. That was the 14 going to enter pit lane. Probably out of fuel.
And then there were 5.
Well, David Hall, that 10 car,
10
last
to
pit
go.
lap 104, so Hall's going to have to pit as well. That 10 car is going to have to drop out of line. They're going to have 4 cars left for this thing. I think
Hall
that's why
like
we just saw...
He's starting to drop back, yeah, exactly.
Yep.
He's
Falling out of
realizing
line.
he's running out of fuel, and he's going to start moving towards the inside, probably, and head to the pits.
There it is, just as predicted. Now a 4-car battle for the lead. No teammate help left.
Oh, these are all drivers just out there now, just trying to win the cup. They just want the trophy. They want the bragging rights. They want to say that it was good fun, and man, this is exciting.
No team affiliations to worry about. Just go out there and do what you can do.
We're gonna see some. You're probably gonna see some big pushes out of the 38, right? Just to try and build that gap there. I know Zach. Zach's trying to get in there and make something happen for him, but also, you know, trying to protect the gap behind him. So, exciting.
Absolutely. Got a few more chances to practice that. Push the 5 out front as much as you can. Practice the timing. Get it down before you decide to make your final move.
Stand out of the way. Smart move. Who is that in the top 4? We got Devin. We got Zach. Who are the other 2?
That's going to be Crystal King in the 15, and the 20 is Dalton Fredericks.
I will tell you that having followed behind Crystal King, they are definitely a great racer. I had a great time following them around. Some pushes, right? Definitely know what they're doing, holding the line and practicing patience. Yeah, great racer right there.
Yeah, I have to agree with you there. Been a factor all day, making smart moves, honestly. Hasn't really put a foot out of line, been right in contention the entire time. Has managed to stay out of trouble for the most part, avoid all the big ones, and stay out front ahead of everything.
And you know, she's in that 3rd spot. I mean, if she can get close enough and get a good run, the 20 or what is that, the car behind her, I mean, because I can't see numbers.
Oh, there it is now, pulling out of line.
There it is. See, exactly.
Maines fades up to block. It's going to be Miller left by himself on the inside. Great heads-up driving there by the 5. The 5 comes up in the block. We've got King looking to the inside. Gonna push for now.
Got 5 laps to go with this many potential lead changes here. This is going to be a great finish.
Big push now, but that's going to give momentum to the 20. The 20 is going to have huge momentum coming here. Going to go to the inside with the 15.
Little bit of bump in there.
A bump in, heavy
saying,
side
hey,
drafting.
still
The
up
20
here.
absolutely walloped the back bumper of the 15. It's tandem, 2-car tandems inside and outside. It's going to be King leading for now, followed by Fredericks. Miller and Maines struggling to get together here on the outside. They're to go single file for now.
They just got to find their lockup. They've been following each other for a while. They know where to lock up. It doesn't matter. I don't know who wins, but they know how to lock up the same way the 15 in the car, the 20 behind her, Fredericks. I mean, they're there. They know what to do. I think really it's going to come down to the last 2 laps. And that's when you're going to see the biggest, boldest move out of 5 and 38 there with Miller.
Yeah, Zach's in pretty good position, but he's going to have someone fall out of line in front of him, because he can fade back a little bit, get that big momentum, and then charge to the front. And if I'm the 5 car and I see Zach fade back, I'm going to wait until he gets that momentum off the corner and pull out of line, get the shove of a lifetime, hopefully.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, that's the joy of being those cars that are in 3 and 4. But those pushes from Fredericks right now, holy cow. Those are some good pushes going into the turns like that. He's saying, I see you back there, and no.
Yeah, probably a bit of confidence. You notice both of those drivers also have sim coaches on the hood, although different liveries.
Maybe it's a coach and a coachee. The coachee in the front, I'd assume with a more conservative livery.
Maybe.
But hey, two to go. 2 to go.
Coming to 2 to go as they cross the stripe here in Daytona. Still King out front, being pushed very hard by the 20 of Fredericks, followed by Maines and Zach Miller in the back. We'll see what they have for him. You see Maines getting a little bit of separation, laying off that gas a little bit. Gonna get a big shove here from Miller. Fades to the inside, fakes to the inside, goes to the outside. Miller not quite in line to push. This might be a failed attempt here, but I think they'll have one more go at it.
Absolutely, and I also think we're going to start seeing a little more checking up and checking down to just try and scare someone else into a different line, right? Or maybe into like a below the apron. We're going to see a little bit more aggressive moves here.
Yeah, we saw Dalton fade back. I think Dalton wanted to fade back just a little bit farther as we see Dalton in the fence a little bit.
Oh, boy.
But Dalton's still going to get the lead off the corner. Will he fade down? Not going to fade down.
I don't think he's going to fade. Zach sees this. His pusher sees it. The other pusher sees it. They're both pushing as hard as they can right now.
Bumper to bumper on the outside. A little bit of separation on the inside. The 15 and the 20. It's going to be Maines to the lead right now. Last lap down the backstretch one more time. Dalton Maines the leader. Zach Miller in second. Through 3 and 4. Miller laying back. King to the inside of Miller. Down below the yellow line.
Oh, wow. Way low.
Way low and out of the picture. It's going to be Dalton Maines across the line. Side by side through 3 and 4. Kind of broke up the draft and allowed Maines to get the separation he needed to bring home the trophy.
Yeah, wow. What a spectacular finish. Again, racing with these guys all night, as long as I could before I wrecked. A lot of heart in here for a good cause. It was a lot of fun. Can't say enough about why they're all here. So what a great race.
No arguments there, and an absolute gem of a fight for the lead on the last lap. That was a spectacle to watch, as Fredericks gives congratulations to Maines.
That's a 2X.
Yeah, we'll take the 2X after the race. It's all right. It's not an official.
And the celebratory burnout.
And of note, I don't know if you checked the GoFundMe, but we've made that goal of $500, so that is awesome to see.
That is absolutely amazing. You know, this is our first attempt ever into doing something for our veterans and our service members out there that were affected by this, but you know, potential opportunity to do this in the future. So I can't thank anyone who donated enough or donated. Thank you. And then to our drivers who also bought in, and their buy-in was the donation. Thank you so much.
All right, we're going to go ahead and see if we can get a chat with our winner. Not in race chat yet, but we'll keep an eye out for now. There we go. All right, we got the 5 and the drivers of the 5 and the 20 both in the green room. Let's go ahead and let's bring Dalton in. See what Dalton thought of that last lap battle and those pretty incredible pushes we saw afterwards, or leading up to it. Dalton, it's Adam and Randall up here in the booth here for Faster Horses Media. That was quite the finish. We saw some really good pushing out of you in the last lap. What was your thoughts? What was your strategy going into that last thing? It's a 4-car shootout, and it was an absolute treat for us to watch as the race concluded. What was your thoughts going up to the end, and would you do anything different if you had another shot at it?
Yeah, I'm just surprised we were able to stay up there after pit road and after all my guys got taken out there on entry. So my pack wasn't able to stay with me, but them guys went by us and we were able to keep up with them and be able to use the draft to our advantage. I got a lot of experience using the draft and we were able to pick them off one by one and just didn't quite get enough there at the end. I wish I had communications with that other sim coach car, but oh well. Yeah, them guys got a great run on us on the outside. I wanted to block, but I didn't want to leave my sim coach partner, and just couldn't quite get the run we needed to really fight for them at the end.
Condolences on the loss, but it was still a great race, and I hope you had as good a time racing as we did watching. That was a great race to watch, and I guess thanks to sim coaches for fielding so many cars. It was great to have such a big field and so many experienced drivers out there competing for the win.
Yeah, and I'd like to thank sim coaches for everything they do for us. Thank you, Lawrence, for putting me into this race. Greatly appreciate it. I'm glad we were able to get a sim coach car up there in the top 3, 2 in the top 5, and all throughout the field. Too bad we couldn't go like first through 6, but maybe next time. But no, I greatly appreciate him. Thanks Joe Hutchings for spotting us. HPC Custom Computers, Fry Trucking, JVM, All Star 15 TV. Thanks for them for sponsoring our car. Nerds Do Nerd Things. Hutchport Racing. Anthony Hanley, all them guys that we worked with throughout the race. Thank you guys for all the help. Couldn't have done it without you guys. And hopefully it was a fairly entertaining race at the end there.
Absolutely, it was a absolute treat to watch. Randall, do you have anything to add before we let him go?
Yeah. So Dalton, have you seen the trophy?
I saw a picture of it, yes.
All right. So we went ahead and you know, uh, 280 Racing League, we definitely want to thank you and all the other racers, but you know, you won the cup, right? So congratulations. We look forward to seeing you hopefully in maybe some future races, charity or not. You know, thank you for being here. Um, see you soon.
Sweet, I appreciate it. Thank you guys.
A quick correction, that was actually Dalton Fredericks finishing P2 there.
He didn't win.
No, that was a 5. The 5, Devin Maines won that. Who we are going to bring in right now. Devin, it was a heck of a final few laps there. We had a foursome there, and we saw you playing strategy games behind, falling back, trying to get runs there with Zach Miller, and you were able to do it on the last lap and pull it off. Take us through your thoughts as the laps wound down, and what was your strategy at the end of the race, and did you have fun throughout the day? I hope you did.
Oh yeah, that was an absolute blast. So when I was leading there for a while, once we came out of the pits, and I guess one of the two leaders messed up on pit road something, we ended up taking the lead. But so I was leading. I was like, I know I'm gonna have to defend. Someone's gonna start making moves eventually. Well, then the sim coaches guys kind of went early. I thought so. Like, all right, fine, I'm gonna let you guys go, and then that puts me more in control. So 2-3 to go. Yeah, I led back just to let Zach kind of hook up to me, and then we were able to make that run. And then it was just defend, defend, defend. I saw there was a little bit of contact between Zach and I think it was the 20. Once that happened, I knew that it was over at that point. But yeah, it was a great race. I had a lot of fun.
Glad to hear, and congrats on winning the trophy. I don't know if you've seen pictures of it just yet, but they'll be on the broadcast. I'm sure they'll be in the Discord server as well. But that's going to be yours once we get it in hand, and we'll be sure to ship that out to you. Congrats on the victory. Randall, anything to add?
You know, I will apologize first off for saying that someone else won. But Devin, man, great race. I was watching you. I got pushed by you. You're a great pusher. I look forward to seeing you hopefully in some more 280 Racing League stuff. But congratulations on your win. I can't wait until you get the trophy in hand and maybe we can see in the Discord. But congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. Thanks for putting this on.
Not a problem at all. Before we let you go, any shout outs, family, friends, sponsors, or otherwise that you'd like to throw out there before we wrap up?
Well, I gotta first thank my teammates over at SSR. I had one of them spotting for me, telling me what was going on around me. That was a huge help. Gotta thank the other Army guys for working with me, and hope to keep working with them in the future.
Awesome, and once again, congrats on the win. Long race, but paid off. Made smart moves throughout the whole thing, and fought your way back from it through adversity to come out on top. So, congrats, and I hope you have a good evening.
Yeah, you too. Thank you.
Zach Miller ran P2 in the P2 in the race, and bit of contact on the last lap kept him from shot at the victory. But take us through your thoughts the last couple laps and what you think you might have been able to do differently to get that win. But it looks like everyone had a fun time. We already interviewed Dalton and Devin, but take us through those last couple laps. What was going through your head, and what you might do differently if you had another shot at it.
I don't think there's much I could have done differently on that. With no one behind me, all I could do was just push the 5. We worked well together the whole race, either him pushing or me pushing him, and that's all I could do. We had it about, we led the last about 20 so laps. We had an excellent pit execution. It worked out great in our hand. With about 5 to go, we lost the 1-2 and just tried to stay with them to get a shot on the last lap. I feel bad for the 22. I threw a block, but intentions not to try to hit anybody or do any of that. But at the same time, it is the last lap to try to win or get a 1-2 position.
Yeah, it ended up in a bit of excitement there. I was hoping for maybe a four cars side by side across the stripes. Four wide finish would have been pretty cool, but we still got a great finish regardless. And so condolences to anybody who might have had contact at the end there. But that was an excellent race, and I know you were orchestral in putting this together. I guess now that I got you both in here, just thank you both for putting this on. And I don't know if I'll give you guys the floor if you have anything to say about it, and possibly plug what's going to happen from here.
All right, Zach, you first.
So yeah, we put this on. Several Army Esports guys were affected. Not just them, but military members were affected by the hurricanes. And I've been thinking, I was like, I probably should do something. And one day I hit up Pease, like, hey, this is my thoughts. And right away he was on board. And then from there, about a month, we just push and push to get this together, get things going, and what to do. And that's pretty much how it came about. Try to do a fundraise to send all the money. Let me check we are at 502. So our goal was 500. So we met the goal of 500 by $2. So pretty much what we're going to do is we're going to send that out to the military members, their families, their vets that were affected by the hurricanes, and we're going to start handing that money out to them to help them get whatever they need, whether it's groceries, replace items, anything around the house that will help them out.
That's great to hear. Yeah, go ahead, Randall.
Absolutely. I mean, there's something about one being a service member yourself, but then also like still trying to give back to others. And I think that was really the big intent behind all of this. I tend to latch on to causes like that because I'm a service member and a veteran myself. So we believe in taking care of each other and taking care of our own for sure. As far as what we have planned for the future, we don't necessarily know yet. Maybe the charity races could become something permanent. Maybe they could just become something that we do once a year. Obviously, this one was kind of emergent with the hurricanes. Some of our drivers being affected, you know, on all branches. But we've looked at it and we've thought, hey, this could be something cool that we could do to just continue to give back to the community with 280 Racing. And before any of us forget, thank you, Faster Horses Racing, and you, Adam, for helping us put this on as well.
Yes,
So
definitely.
thanks.
Yeah, it's been my pleasure. Thanks for including me on this. It's been a treat to do, despite a couple technical hiccups early on. We still got the majority of the race covered, and it was great to have everyone here, and hopefully everyone watching had a good time as well, and all you guys are probably going to go back and watch it later on. If you enjoyed the stream, we stream every Thursday evening for the 280 Truck Series, so be sure to tune in next week. We'll be racing at Kentucky, so go ahead and plug that. It'll be 9 Eastern on Thursday night. So be sure to tune in for that same channel right back here, and if you like what you see, I'd appreciate it if you'd throw a like on the video and potentially subscribe. That would be awesome for us and increase our reach out to other people as well. So maybe we can do more of these and potentially reach more people in the future. So thank you, gentlemen. Thank you for putting this on. We're going to go ahead and wrap up the stream for the evening. It's been a pleasure. All right, as always, I've been Adam LaVox here for Faster Horses Media. I thank everyone who tuned in. And thanks all for everyone who donated. I'll go ahead and throw that up on the screen one more time for anybody who potentially would like to donate. And as well, the link is down in the description below the stream or the video if you're watching this back. So even though we've met our goal, any additional bit helps, because there are a few different service members and families that we're looking to help. And but once again, a thank you to everyone out there who helped us to reach our goal. I would consider that an absolute success for our first time doing this. And couldn't do it without you, couldn't do it without Zach and Randall. So thanks, guys, for setting all this up. And hopefully we'll be able to do more of these in the future and be able to be a blessing to other people. So that does it for now. I believe we're going to wrap it up for the evening. Thanks so much for tuning in. We hope to see you around Thursday night once again for the 280 Truck Series. A lot of these same guys racing for the league championship. So hopefully we see you all back then. Until then, you have a good evening. Stay safe out there. And remember, we're all in this together. You have a good night.